talk about, I think there are more than, there's another topic I wanted to touch on, but I'm gonna start with the first one. This nigga by the name Academics, DJ Academics, I used to misread him because, he comes across as a, team Drizzy kind of nigga, but I'm coming to the realization that he's a down low motherfucker. I think he wants to get fucked by Drizzy. He wants to ride Drizzy's dick so badly. And there are so many down low niggas out here. You have no idea. You people have no idea. And they always expose themselves, and they will. They will. And you just got to pay attention because he did a commentary on that interview, um, you know, with Saucy Walker, whatever the fuck that crazy ass nigga's name is, his baby mama. There's an interview between, she had an interview with this guy. I don't remember the name of that host, right? And I don't even know why that nigga felt the need to do a comment. He has way too much time on his hands. And even when I'm not working and I'm resting, and there's so many things that I've said it to you guys a lot of times that I engulfed myself, I, in, I utilize my time to do, you know, because the devil does find work for, idle hands. And there's self care, there's self reflection, introspection, write songs, paint. I have a paint set. I'm yet to, paint this, piece that I want to paint. But I have that I could do if I get so goddamn bored. Plus, I love to sleep. Okay, and I watch shows and I watch movies. I meditate. I listen to meditational music. There's so much that I do. I sit and I plan for my future. I make promises to myself. I, connect with nature. I could go on and on and on. And, once in a while, I'll listen to music. Most of the time, when I do listen to music, it is my own music because it's what I strongly resonate with. And, it's just what it is. Like, I cannot be so bored, and, to the point where in which I'm just like, just out of nowhere, out of the blues, not for any justification reason, not for the reason of bestowing justice, because him, the way he, the way him style are, I feel like using a lot of Creole in this video, the way him style are, because I realize like he's like a Jamaican wannabe nigga, okay? I think he's just a copycat because like Drizzy and the whole popcorn link up, and his affinity and connection to Jamaica, and the black community at large. I just think, you know, that nigga wants to fuck Drake, or he wants to be fucked by Drake. There is just like sometimes you see things and you don't see them clearly until, like, that's how it goes for me. Because like when I tell people I'm an intuitive, I'm a spiritualist, um they're like, um what does the spirit say about them? I should read them up. I'm like, what the fuck? And like instantly, like when somebody, like one time, like it was like before when like people would like react like that when I would say I'm a spiritualist, I'm an intuitive. I, I want to really know how to answer them. Like I know what to say, but the mere fact that they would like ask me something like that just revealed to me that they're deadheads. And so even though I know how to explain it to them that that's just not how it works, um they're not gonna understand. They're not gonna comprehend. And so I was just like dumbfounded. But like now, I'm not dumbfounded. I just dismiss them instantly. I dismiss them because don't be asking shit about shit that you don't have the slightest clue or idea about. Because the mere fact you're gonna ask me to just read you right there, spirituality ain't for you. Like maybe your next lifetime, maybe if and when you reincarnate, maybe then, but not in this lifetime. I ain't got time for deadheads. My tolerance level is like below the earth's motherfucking core. I don't got tolerance for ignorant motherfuckers. Okay? The whole energy reading thing goes. I'ma just paraphrase. I've said this a lot of times, I think, to you guys, is I'll meet somebody, right? And I don't pick up on anything, blah blah blah, until maybe a day, days later, weeks later, a month later, maybe even a year later, maybe hours later, minutes later, seconds later, maybe instantly you come into my presence and or I enter your presence and I just get this weird vibe that something is not right about you. Okay? So it depends. But you know what it depends on? It solely depends on the spirits. What they know is for my highest good. What they know is for my best interest. Because sometimes there's certain things the flesh shouldn't know before a certain time. And the spirits, they're the enlighteners. They reveal shit to us. Okay? So if they don't see the importance, or if they see that would be a detriment if we know a certain thing at a certain time or before a certain time, they're not going to reveal that to us. Pretty much we walk through life having human experiences blind. When we come into the knowing of shit, it's the spirit removing veils. Okay? That's what it is. So when I first started listening to that nigga, I did not straight away realize that he's a toxic nigga, that he's a down low nigga, that he's a dick riding nigga. The way he went in on that woman, I'm like, I could not. Me as a woman, I would never go in on a woman like that. I I I I don't like to repeat myself. That nigga kept repeating the same insults about the woman over and over again. And then he's gonna talk as though like Drizzy be feeding him information to regurgitate to his viewers. You gonna be saying, "Oh, Drizzy don't want, don't want you. Drizzy don't want." What do you know? What Drizzy want? How do you know? Did he tell you that he don't want Saucy Walker's baby mama? Did he tell you that shit? Did he tell you? You can speculate, you can assume, you can say, I don't think Drizzy want you. But a nigga be speaking with quote unquote certainty. Drizzy don't want, like, nigga, he sounded so jealous. You know them jealous bitches who jealous because you with the guy that they want to get with? That's how he sounded. He sounded jealous as fuck that she been riding and rode the dick that he's been wanting to ride and still want to ride. He sounds like you woman, you gotta know how to pinpoint these down low niggas out here. A lot of them they trash talk woman because they wanna fuck these women's niggas Or the niggas who these bitches have fucked, they want to fuck these niggas. And they just bitter as hell because what the fuck? And then he's going to go on to say that, Saucy is, has a right for, not giving her shit for the kid because she been dealing with a nigga. Like, if it's like he's saying, okay, because she was dealing with Drizzy, she shouldn't, like, Saucy Walker, or whatever his name is, should not play his role as the kid's father. How whack and low life and scum like is that? That ain't Drizzy's kid. And even if Drizzy be raking, like, throwing, thousands and thousands and millions of dollars on her, that's still ain't Drizzy's kid. That's Saucy's kid. So it don't matter if the mama is a millionaire, you still supposed to spend on your kid. If she asks you for money, and she shouldn't even have to ask your worthless ass for money for your own fucking kid. Okay? Moreover, she asked you and you like, go and ask Drizzy? What kind of lame ass scum like nigga mentality is that? And like he be talking as though academics be talking as though the only problem in the equation is the baby mama. It's not Saucy Walker. I mean, I would never say Drake was a problem. Whether he got with her out of pure spite, she chose to get with him. And that's her choice. And had that whack ass nigga been doing right by her, she wouldn't have gotten with Drizzy. So think about that. Okay? Had he been playing his role as a good father, a good partner, not abusing her and having bitches jump her, then you could talk shit about her. The fuck you acting like he an angel? You acting like he a good nigga? Where? She should have fuck Drake right in front of him. She should have fuck pan him right in front of him. Like she and Drizzy should have done a video, record their session of Drizzy ramming out that hole, stabbing out that hole, pleasuring her, receiving pleasure from her, and send that video to that motherfucking nigga. But then again, knowing that he's a whack ass nigga, he would have probably like try to make money off that shit. But I'm just saying, a low life nigga like that, that's what a low life nigga deserve. Fuck pun. Oh yeah. Like, I don't think she cares if, and the fact, and then she's praising Drizzy, and he got a problem with that. She not, as though she told him that she's expecting Drizzy to wife her up. I think she's smart enough to know how the industry works and how shit goes, and how, these rappers, these niggas are. But she's nonetheless appreciate. Like, Drizzy could have just given her like 10 racks, and that's it, and get with her, and she would still be grateful. But I feel like Drizzy, I'm retired to some extent, and like I said, the Janet Shut the Fuck Up song, it's like there's so many entendres in that, because the Janet's woman who's in bondage, I feel like symbolizes so many women he's come across. Bitches he don't like, bitches in kind of rate, and bitches who him rate. Bitches who him used to rate and him not rate them so much anymore. Okay? A nigga will go like he's all that. but him have him bitch, him actually buy this bitch and have her imprisoned. Like, yeah, that would be Jay-Z and Beyonce. The bitch who him did rate and in a rate again, and she gone tie up her foot, because like here in Jamaica we say when you got kids, kids tie up your hands and your foot, because like you don't have much freedom again when you got kids. You're restricted. Whether you got a nanny, yes or no, you are restricted in some way, shape, or form. That's responsibility right there, Capricorn energy up in this bitch. Okay? And the more them little niggas you got, is the more restricted you are. Okay? So, I'ma say this. Rihanna is a bitch who he used to rate, but he don't rate that bitch anymore. Okay? Nicki is a bitch he rates, been rating, still rates. Will always rate, but the industry is trying to imprison her and trying to take away her freedom and trying to silence her. I feel like Janice, not Janice as in like shut the fuck up. I feel like Janice and even the shut the fuck up, um, is a passive shut the fuck up, and it's also an aggressive shut the fuck up in terms of who, you talking to. So maybe he's saying, Nikki, shut the fuck up. We gonna deal with these niggas. Just stop talking. Okay? And but they're like bros from ever since, bro and sis, okay. And Janice could also be Saucy's baby mama. He helped her. I feel like him. Maybe he started off just to get on Saucy Walker's nerve, but he started, kind of like retard a certain way. Who's you to tell a nigga what he's attracted to, or to say what a nigga's or who a nigga's attracted to? Because based on the model in the video, that's a bitch who's done a lot of surgeries. You see them big ass titties. Those titties aren't real. So he like dissing her and her BBL and all of these type of shit. Come on, come on. Drizzy could have real authentic ratings for the girl. Who's you to fucking say shit? Shut the fuck up. You say you don't like BBL bitches. I don't like the whole, fake aesthetics either. But that's what they want for themselves. That's their fucking body. I'm not gonna like trash talk them. I mean like, I do believe they do it out of insecurity, but I ain't gonna like beat up on them the way that nigga been beat. Leave that for a woman to do, nigga. That's not a man's place to talk trash about a woman. That's some gay shit. Some down low nigga shit. You sound effeminate, jealously effeminate as fuck. The way it was just so upsetting. I'm like, what the fuck? And he wasn't dissing me, and I'm not a BBL bitch. I've never done any form of cosmetic surgery, and I have no intention. I love, like, authenticity. Like, I've been telling you that for the longest while, but that don't give you any right to try to, put down, bitches who are into that. They're struggling with shit. Why they do that shit? Giving into peer pressure, not loving or liking themselves that much or whatnot or any at all. But why you kicking a man or a bitch when she's down? Like, that shows that you got serious issues yourself. Okay? I hated that. Bitch never said she wants to marry Drizzy or she expects Drizzy to marry her. She never said that shit. Why this whole shit came out was because the nigga been telling her that he gon' F up Drizzy. And I mean retard because she come out and actually, she record him and she actually put it out there. And no doubt, he said it before and she wanted to have proof that he said it. Okay? So, whether she called him whatever, how it went, and because she wanted to hear him say it again so she could have the proof that he did say it. That's some serious shit right there. He can definitely get into trouble with the law right there. That's a threat. And a plan to commit murder. That's a threat right there. And Drizzy said in the song, they tried to kill me once, but darling, you just resurrected me. Maybe this is something she done told Drizzy already. Maybe he said that to her and she told Drizzy and made a nigga know that a nigga planning to off him. And he appreciates that. He appreciates that. Maybe she is not, it's not Janice, but Emiliana. I think that's the name he said in yeah. So you don't know. You don't know how Drizzy feels about that woman. Shut the fuck up. And I've been telling you bitches out there that Drizzy ain't stuck on Rihanna. That's just how Scorpios are. They will throw shade at you till the day they die. But that don't mean that they want shit to do with you ever again. I mean, once you hurt a Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio, we don't want shit to do with your ass anymore. We done with you. We dead shit. Especially if Venus is Scorpio. I can tell you that. Once you say something that pisses me off, there is no motherfucking coming back from that. Literally. So you gotta be careful what you say to me. And when I say shit to niggas and bitches that is damaging to a relationship or a connection, I know, like if I tell you, go suck your mother, or if I tell you that you an ugly, lame ass, worthless nigga whose dick is smaller than my 14-year-old son's dick, then nigga, you know that I don't plan to reconcile with you. I'm dead in shit right there because there's no way you can come back from that. There's no coming back from that. There's no us coming back from that. You don't say certain things to somebody and then get back. That's some puppy show shit. So when I burn a bridge, I don't expect to try to or want to cross that bridge ever again. Me burning that bridge is also forcing me to move on. Because once I burn it, there's no going back. So I'm like, oh, well, you couldn't go back even if you wanted to. That's how I discipline my motherfucking self. Okay, but it just pissed me the fuck off the way he went in on that woman like that. And you know what I don't like with a lot of people? They like to use their own experiences. They like to there's a word for that. They try to draft a connection between their experiences and another bitch's or another nigga's experience. Nigga, what you went through with your baby mama is not what that nigga went through with his baby mama. Unless you saying you a bitch ass nigga like that nigga who is a bitch ass nigga. So I hate when people do that. Like for example, a woman who got cheated on. So she hears about another woman getting cheated on. And, she just feels like, okay, the man is a problem. Because in her situation, her man was a problem. Bitch, sit the fuck down. Niggas, you just sit the fuck down. Because y'all's minds are so small that you can only compute and process shit one way. It could never be the other way. I believe there are good men out there, just as I believe there are good women out there. And why I think there are good women out there is because I'm one. Unless for real, I'm an alien for real. Which would make me the only one of my kind, who's that real, genuine, authentic ride or die bitch. And there's no other like me. But I use myself not in a small minded way, but in a very much vastly open minded way that if I'm a good woman, I know that, or at least I think most likely there are other good women out there. But I'm not small minded, right? So I'm not going to think to myself, being small minded would be okay because I'm a good woman. Every woman is a good woman. No, that's being small minded. You got to look at shit from both angles. When you're an open minded individual, you perceive things from, both ends of the spectrums, from both polarity, yin and yang, not just from one end. Okay? So they're good women, they're also good men. They're bad women, they're also bad men. Okay? They're good kids, they're also bad kids. Okay? They're good black folks, they're good white folks. They're bad black folks, they're bad white folks. They're just, there is polarity in every area and aspect of life. They're good baby daddies, they're bad baby daddies. They're good baby mamas, they're bad baby mamas. Okay? So, not because you perceive yourself to be a good baby daddy, don't mean that Waka Flocka, or, sorry, Saucy Walker. Don't mean that that nigga is a good baby daddy. Okay? Yeah. And I saw this video where they said like 50 was commenting on the whole Drake Saucy Walker shit. And I feel like he was doing the same thing. Putting himself in that situation. Is you saying you a whack ass nigga? Like Saucy Wacka? Whatever the fuck his name is, 50? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that nigga deserve to get bun pan him yai lid. Pan him yai lash. That's how despicable he is. And I believe every word that she says about that nigga. I don't believe she's lying. Okay? I know there are good baby daddies out there, but that nigga is trash. Okay? The niggas out there who ain't doing shit for bitches, but they expect a bitch's loyalty. The fuck is it? Get the fuck up out of here with that shit. And, DJ Akademiks, I'm gonna make sure I hashtag that nigga's name if he ever comes across my shit. You need to get over Drizzy. Get the fuck over that nigga. And find you a nigga who actually wants you to ride his dick. Or who actually wants to ride your dick. And shut the fuck up. Janice, shut the fuck up.